That looks cool. I'm gonna teach you how to do it in Unreal Engine. Yeah, sounds like worth the time. Let's get to it. I have just created basic startup project from VR template in Unreal Engine, and we will need some assets. And because today we are going to use more of them, I have decided to download them and pre-prepare it for you. So I hope that you can press the like button as a thanks. Anyway, you will find in the description link to these assets. You can simply take this folder and put it in your content where you have Unreal project. If you don't know where your Unreal project is downloaded, simply open your launcher, go to library, click on project, show in folder. And right here there is content folder, and put here your assets which you've downloaded. Simply take it from here and put it right there. I already have it here, so I'm not going to do it. And then start your project. After that, you should have these assets right here prepared, and everything should be fine and glorious. So now let's open virtual reality BP maps and open motion controller map. I have the fourth one, but you can ignore that. I was just testing stuff out, so I am not telling you any bull crap things. You know what I'm talking about. Now there is startup map where you can play with whatever you want, but we will get to work. So first thing we actually will do in a game is to prepare a sword. If you look into assets, there is sword, and it's called Katanba for some reason. These assets of course are not mine, and if you download them, there are links for its creators, so show them your support. That would be great. We couldn't do this without them. Well, we could, but let's appreciate them still. Okay, we will have to prepare it so you can pick that katana up. So let's go to content, and in assets let's create here a new folder called blueprints, and I misspelled it again. Blueprints, enter, and from here let's click on this little icon which will show us panel, and it will be easier to move around. Let's go to virtual reality BP blueprints, click on this BP pickup cube and click on Ctrl C because it already has code for picking it up. Then click into we have just created folder blueprint and press Ctrl V and rename it to Katana. Okay, great. Open it, and in viewport click on static mesh component and click on this yellow arrow which will reset it to default, and we want to put here our katana. Of course you can use your own assets if you wish, but I would probably recommend you to work with same assets so it's easier for you. Then you can modify it to whatever you want. And it will be probably a little bit small, as you can see, because from the start that cube is set to 0.2, and let's go with at least 0.5. And of course for all these dimensions. Combine and lock it so you can scale it uniformly. Okay, oh, that's maybe a little bit too big, but we will see. Through this video I'm not going to test it that much because I remember how it looks like, but I would recommend you to test it so you know what different settings does. Right now, if we try to pick it up, it would just be pickable from any kind of place in this katana. You would be able to take it from blade, etc, etc, which is something we don't want. So for that we will have to change it a little bit. So open katana. And first of all, you know what, we will do this in the end. So first of all, let's go and this attach component to component, drag it from here and set the relative location and rotation. And target will be, of course, static mesh component. Let's set it here, compile. And now we need to figure out what coordinates we are going to set. So let's actually do a little trick how to see them. And to go to virtual BP blueprints and open BP motion controller. In viewport, let's look at that hand. Oh, come on, where are you? There you go. If that camera is moving too fast for you, you can slow it down right here. And click on hand. In animation mode, set it to custom as animation, use animation asset, and set it to grab. Compile, and here add component and add static mesh. Okay, and just make sure that it's not under hand, but it's under scene component. So attach it there, and now you can set their same katana which we are changing there. Okay, set rotation, location, everything to default. And you can see that it's way too big because we need to set it to same scale as we have right here, which was 0.25, I believe. Let's see. Yes, 0.5. So let's do it. Make sure it's locked so you can change it only once. Okay, that's fine. And now you should position it just as you need by rotating it and changing its location. Okay, that looks just fine, so compile it, and now what we will have to do is okay, I closed everything, that's not exactly what I wanted, so let's open BP motion controller again, put it on one place, and then take katana and put it on other part of the screen. And what you simply need to do is in viewport, take location of the katana and put it right in here. You can see its location and rotation and set it right here. You need to copy it. With location, you can simply copy it like that. But with rotation, it will be a bit more complex. You need to make sure that you don't copy this symbol for angles. Is it symbol for angles? I will hope so. Press on enter. I'm sure that you will correct me in comments if it is not. That's internet. Okay, and you can see that right now it didn't work because I didn't remove it. Okay, and now let's actually test it in VR, and let's actually put them, both of them, because I want to see if I can have katanas in both, and I know I can, but it will be closer to final look of the game. Right from the start that you see that I have sort of katana in between my legs, and not that I wouldn't be comfortable with that, but let's not have it in game, we will do it in soon. And my hands are already engripped if I wanna fight or something. That's simply because we haven't changed it in motion control, but we can still test it up. So let's see if I can pick it up. And it seems that it is just fine, look at that. And let's take the second one. And by accident right now I have like 3 katanas, one in you know where it is. Okay, so first of all let's fix those bugs that we have created accidentally. And by opening this BP motion controller, viewport, and first of all delete. Okay, click on that katana, delete it, and click on hand mesh and set it back to animation blueprint. Now everything will work just fine. In regular Fruit Ninja, you have your katanas all the time in the hand, and we could set it up, but there would be a bit of a problem because you would have to set up which hands is where, and I don't necessarily want to go to that because it will still take quite some time because this tutorial is already long. So what we will simply do is to disable this part of the code, which means that once you will pick that katana up, you can't drop it. Okay, it will work for both of them, save current, and let's get to the next part of the tutorial. Okay, let's get to the second part of this tutorial and to cut these pieces in half. So, first of all, let's get some pieces that we can actually cut in half. Again, go in blueprints, content blueprints, and create here new blueprint class, and that will be actor. And let's call it fruit underscore 01. Not very original, but it will do. So first is add component and add static mesh. Compile it, and what's more important, add here procedural mesh. Where are you? There you go. No, I'm not going to post process, that was a mistake. Let's add here procedural mesh under the static mesh, and in static mesh we can finally set some of these assets. And let's start with orange. Yeah, let's start with orange. Okay, put it on the side of the screen, and you can simply take the static mesh and put it right here. It seems to be just fine, but I'm afraid that it will be a bit too big. Yes, that definitely is too big. So let's set it to about 0.6. Little problem with scaling. If you are importing from a lot of different sources your assets, it's very likely that they will have different sizes, etc, etc. Okay, and then let's go to construction script right here, the second one, and take it from here, and we will copy procedural mesh from static mesh component to your static mesh. Let's connect static mesh, which is not that surprising, and procedural mesh to procedural mesh component, and click on create collisions. Okay, make sure that once you click on procedural mesh, disable this use complex as simple collisions. Click on it, compile, and let's enable here simulate physics. Okay, everything else seems to be just fine. And if you click on your static mesh, let's actually make sure that we can see it in the game, because we want to see only procedural mesh. So let's disable this visible and make sure to enable kick hidden in game. So now what we can do is to put it in game and see what it does. Okay, let's quickly put it in game, move it up and test it. Right here in this arrow, click on simulate. And it seems to be fine. If we interact with it with one of these cubes, it should be physically interacting with it. Yeah, seems fine, seems absolutely fine. It's possible if it doesn't work for you, make sure that you click on that orange and your static mesh and go in details, search details, and right here allow CPU access and make sure it's ticked on. From the start, in most meshes it is disabled, and you need to make sure that it's enabled if you are going to slice it and do any other funny stuff. So let's save it current. Now let's make sure that we can slice that. So click on Katana, go to viewport, and we will have to add here new mesh, and that will be plane. Add it here. And let's enable this. It's probably enabled in your case, but in my case not. It's basically snapping, where it makes sure that it's moving only every 10 degrees, etc, etc, etc. You need to make sure that this plane is bigger than collisions of this, and because we can't necessarily see collisions right now, I don't think you can enable it here, to be honest. Let's just make it way bigger than you would expect. Okay, now you need to have much more precision, so let's disable snapping and just put it here. Once you have it done, make sure that you have your plane and click on collision presets and set it to overlap all. Compile, and now let's do some magic. On component begin overlap, create event, and again create plane, and on component end overlap. Okay, let's continue. On component begin overlap, and let's put here do once. And let's from on component end overlap set it to reset. And from here we will have to cast to procedural mesh component, and here connect this other component to our procedural mesh component. Double click on line, so it's inline, line inline. And from here we will slice mesh, slice procedure mesh. Okay, looks great. And take a plane and click on get world location. And from plane, let's get up vector. Okay, connect it to plane normal, and make sure that you enable create other HAL. No cap. Let's set here a cap, create new selection for cap, and let's not use cap material for now. And after slice procedural mesh, let's add here set simulate physics and set it to simulate. Okay. And one last thing, because we want after that we will slice that mesh, that part we have sliced to kind of jumped away. So let's add here some kind of impulse, and that would be add radial impulse. Add radial impulse, connect it. and origin will be same as the world location. Let's put it here, and again make sure to keep it organized unless you really adore chaos. In that case, be free. Feel free to do so. Set radius to about, you know what, let's go 50 and strength to 100. Compile it and let's test it. Okay, now when you pick it up, you can see that it's still holding in the hand even if I release it, but the hand is going somewhere where it shouldn't. It's going back to its opens animation. We can actually disable it, but we probably won't. But that's not why we are here. Let's test this thing. Let's test if we can slice it. Okay, get ready. And it seems just fine. Look at that. We can slice it and it jumps over. That looks fine. And it looks actually fun. That's not even fun. That's fun and fine as well. And I can't even... Okay, we have to enable it again because I'm used to throwing my weapons. This just won't do. Let's open Katana and in editor, event drop, connect it again. I just need to throw my weapons away. Okay, but this seems to work just fine. So now what we need to set up is counting score. And we'll have to do it a bit more complicated than you may think. Because usually it would be really easy to just open it in your Katana. And every time you slice it, it will... what is it? Yeah, every time you slice it, it will add 1 point. The problem is that it's really easy to slice it several times, and you don't necessarily want to add several points with one fruit. So to make it work, let's open our fruit 01 and add here collision and make sure that it's bigger than mesh. That's maybe a little bit too big, but that doesn't matter. Compile it, and from here let's go to overlap or dynamic. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, you know what, let's set it to overlap all just to be sure, even though it shouldn't matter. On component begin overlap, let's cast to Katana. Is that how we named that sword, right? Blueprint, yep, Katana. Connect it to other actor. Compile. That simply means every time you will overlap Katana with this mesh, it will do something. And that do something will be, for now, destroying that sphere. Okay, one more time, let's take this sphere and set it to destroy component. That's the only thing it will do now. Because if we didn't destroy it, it would just add another score every time it will start to overlap. So what we need to do now is to add here new blueprint, add blueprint class, actor, and call it score. Add component, text. And we'll have to rotate it. Okay, let's just paste it here. Oh, wrong axis. I believe we are going... Okay, again wrong axis. Out of 3 I got 2 wrong. That's not really good. Z set it to 180. So let's put it here. Text render and set text. Like that. Add it after event begin play. But you can see that we need to add it to some value. And for that we will create new variable. Compile, and that variable will be integer, which we will call score. Compile, and from the start set it to 0, which is fine. Get score, connect it here. It will automatically transfer it to different kind of variable because it doesn't read integer, it reads text, which is text. It's called just text. Don't you? That's pretty lame. Anyway, not important. Let's move this R down, and here if you down click on this arrow, you can see minimum integral digits. That's how many digits will be shown on the screen if there is no other. In this case it means how many zeros. And let's set it to 4. So now when the game will start, it will set text to score, which is from the start score 0. And it will show at least 4 characters, which means 4 zeros. So if you put it in game, let's say that I want it bigger, and I want it to be here, above the table. Let's simulate, and it should set itself to 0. Oh, it seems just fine. The thing is, why is there... Oh, don't use grouping, of course. There was that bit comma, because I have set up grouping, which shouldn't be a problem now. Seems fine. But now we need to set it up so it actually counts our score. That's why we have this collision here, and sphere. One more thing, let's click back on that text. And create here a new custom event. Okay, custom event. You just need to know how to spell it, that's the problem. Add custom event, and definitely don't call it custom event, call it add score. The advantage of custom events is that you can call them from different blueprints, which is what we will do in a moment. But now we need to set up what it will actually do. After it will be called, we can get our score and set our score. I don't know why I say it's our score. Maybe I am a hidden communist. Shh, don't tell anyone. Okay, set it to plus integer. So let's duplicate this part, move it up, and let it go like this, and connect it all right here. Again, make sure it's set to same amount as here. 4, and don't use grouping. So what this basically will do is to take our score, add 1 to it, and set it to text. So from here, the only thing you need to do is to cast to katana. From here, take the of course we cannot take it from katana, we need to take this arrow, get actor of class, set an actor of class to score. This is actually a bit expensive way to do it, but it's a really simple game, so we can afford it. And from our return value, let's take our custom event, which is called add score, I think. Yep, add score. Connect it, and here we go. That should work just fine. Let's test it out. Okay, now you can see that now it is in 0, 0, 0. You can see my katana, everything seems fine. And if I come to it, cut it in half, it will jump off, and what's most important, it will add score to 1. And now if I cut it again, nothing will happen, nothing will be added. Great. And just aesthetic detail, click on that plane in Katana Blueprint and set it to hidden in game so we can't actually see it. Okay, now we have throw it and we have Katana to cut it with. So what we will do, and we actually have even a score, I almost forget about that. So now what we will do is to combine all those and with new blueprint, which will be launcher. Okay, actor, and call it launcher. Let's open it, and I actually don't have mesh of any canon or whatever, so let's put here just something like, I don't know, sphere. Make it a little bit smaller, and after that let's put here cylinder. Scale it down like this, seems fine. And after that let's put here arrow, move it up, and let's leave it like there. Put it in game. Seems fine. And now let's open it again, so we just know what we are doing. And now let's program it so it actually launches something. So first of all, let's go after event begin play, move it all down, and let's add here spawn actor. Come on, actor from class. And for now, that class will be just our again, that communist thing. Let's not talk about it. Like if you are communist, and triple like if you are a capitalist. Okay, we have fruit01, so let's add it here. Fruit01, and spawn transform should be, of course, our arrow. Let's take from here get wall transform and open it all. So split structure pane, unconnect, rotation, and location. Okay, so now what it will do, oh, of course, let's do one more thing, add here delay, about 2 seconds for now. You know what, let's actually promote it to variable so we can play with it. We will actually eventually put here a random number, so it will take different times before it will spawn next through it. But for now, let's call it, you know what, let's not put here variable, it was a really stupid idea. Let's set it to 1 second and connect it all the way back. Okay, now let's test it out. See, it's in the game, so now it should be spawned somewhere here. Let's click on simulate and see if it works. Seems fine. It's creating them. So what we will do is to add it some momentum. And take it from here and again add radial impulse for procedural mesh. Because that's the one that's actually being spawned. Okay, connect it here. And actually move it a bit more and get world location of our procedural mesh and connect it here. Radius, let's set to 50, but what we will do this time is to change velocity and set strength to about 1000. Okay, and see what it does now. Yep, that seems fine. I like it, but we want it to not actually shoot up there, but shoot somewhere there. But the funny thing is that we can just rotate it and play. And it seems just fine, look at that. Now let's add some variety to it, because right now it's shooting every 1 second, so let's put here a random float in range, and let's say you want to shoot it in every 0.7 seconds to, okay, 0.5 will be actually fine, to 1.5. Connect it here, that seems fine, and one more variety here should be that strength. No, let's actually not play with radius and strength. Okay. You can see that the interval is different. Okay, you know what, let's put here 2 of them actually. Okay, and to make sure that it doesn't start at the same time, we will add here one more thing, and that would be delay, and it should be a random again a random integer. We can random float. We can again just copy it, and let's say between 0 and 2 seconds. It will just add some variety to it. Just make sure that we know where you are aiming at. Oh, look at that. That seems just fine. Let's test it out in VR. Okay, the first problem is that there is a bit too many of them, but we will fix that eventually. Now let's just cut them a little bit. Okay, that looks fine. And you can try to cut the... Why that one stayed in the air? Okay, that's weird. That seems like kind of bug. I don't know why that happened. But you can see if I cut any of them, it will add score right there. And play with it however you want. By the way, one more thing, if you want to fix that material right here, no, where is it? It's in Katana actually. In Katana, there is new cap material. That's a material that will be created after you cut it at the middle section. You can set it to whatever you want. Some emission usually looks pretty good. I'm not going in there right here. But what we will do here is to take our other half after that radial impulse, put it here, and destroy it. Destroy component, but we need to give it some time, of course. Let's put here delay, and actually before that, because it may have been destroyed already for some weird reason, let's add here is valid. Again, connect it to this. Let's have it organized. And if it is valid, destroy it. If it's not valid, it doesn't matter, so don't do anything. And 1 second should be fine, but we also need to destroy the ones that started it. So put here on event begin play. Again, put here delay, but right now we need to put a little bit longer. Let's say 3 seconds. So after 3 seconds, if it is still valid, is valid, and we want to be valid our procedural mesh. If it is valid, destroy it. Destroy, and right now destroy whole actor. Compile it and let's test it out. Okay, it's shooting them, blah blah blah, everything seems fine, funny, and you can see that they started disappearing after a while. That's fine. Eventually we can get rid of the floor and let it just fall down in space. Alright, well, I have bad news. Well, bad news for me. My whole project just crashed and I haven't saved anything. So, first recommendation, click this save all the freaking time. Why I am telling you this is because I had to rework it all from the start. Everything is same as on the tutorial, I had to watch it, but if you just see something a little bit different, don't be afraid, I just needed to do it all again. So maybe there are some differences, but nothing that you should worry about. Okay, so let's get to continue on that. And what we will do now is to make it spawn different kind of fruits. Because if we simulate it right now, it's shooting only oranges. And it's shooting them somewhere here, so other thing will be to move this back. And then we will have to rebuild lighting. So let's start with that actually, rebuild light. Okay, and delete this nav modifier. You can actually delete most of them, you don't need them. Okay, nav modifiers. So what we will do is to open Fruit 1 blueprint, go to construction script, and it should be in the middle. It shouldn't be, but I like it there. And what we will do is to take this static mesh, which is right now set to orange, and set it to something else. So take it from here. Come here. We'll put here set static mesh. And this new mesh promotes the variable. Okay. Then disconnect it and actually delete it. Compile it and make sure that you have saved it all, because that's the point where it crashed for me. And it crashed several times, to be completely honest. So click on this little house on the right and set it to array. Compile and hope that it will work. It works for now, that's good, that's really good. And put it here in get new variable, because we will need it. And let's rename it to fruits. Okay, compile. And here in this default value, you can set which meshes you want here. Let's put here the banana and watermelon. Oh, watermelon, we actually don't have watermelon. We have orange, that's what it was on from start. And the last one was some grenade. You can of course download your own meshes, blah blah blah, these are just for testing. So let's take it from this array and we want to get a copy. And we don't want just some copy, and we want a random copy out of these 3. So let's put here a random integer, and actually we want random integer in a range. Minimum will be 0 and maximum will be 2, because we are starting from 0, of course. Okay, and now connect it simply to this and connect it in our execution pins. That should be fine. This is actually this is actually a really simple trick. We will set static mesh from these 3 meshes randomly, hopefully, and then it will copy from the static mesh to procedural mesh and continue as we need. So let's test it out. It seems like it works fine. Look at that. And because we are doing everything in this fruit 01, we are cutting, score, and everything like that already works. So that's about that. And now let's create some random ability. For that we will actually copy launcher, call it launcher 2, why not? And what we will do is also copy fruit 01, duplicate it and call it fruit special. And let's set it just to be able to recognize it quickly. Of course, you need to start by disabling this. We want it to be shot on. We want to shoot only one kind of fruit, and that will be static fruit. Let's set it to banana low, and we will put the material of grenade. Okay, that looks really terrible. That actually looks like really weird banana. I have starter content, which means that I can use glass material. So I will put it there and make it a little bit bigger. Okay, it's fine. Oh, by the way, if you haven't started with starter content, you can just click on add new, add feature and content pack and add it here. Okay, that's fine. So let's open our launcher 2 and actually delete this. And from here, let's take our fruit special. No, that's 301, fruit special. And can get procedural mesh. Oh, come on, where are you? Procedural mesh. What is it? There you go. It's on the bottom and connect it here. It's possible that we will need to change this later. We'll see. And I want it to be shot only once upon a time. So let's say 2 to 5 seconds. And start will be set to 5 to 10 seconds. Okay, it's actually really hard to see that glass material. So I would change it to fruit special. And let's try something. I haven't actually prepared. You know what? Let's actually quickly create. And what else than emissive material? I always use emissive materials. Okay, so open that material and create here constant with free vector. Set the color to, I don't know, red. That's usually pretty bad. Compile. Apply it. And right there, set multiplies. About 100. Oh, come on, 100. And connect it to emissive. Okay, apply, and it will, of course, do some material stuff. But we don't need to wait, actually. So let's go to blueprints, go to blueprints, fruit special, and set that material right here. It would be definitely better to use different mesh, but I don't have any, so I'm going to do it with this one. Set it to emissive, and that should be fine. So now, what to do once it will be cut? Right now we have it to cast to katana. Once it will have a contact with katana, it will add a score. But that's not what we want with this one. Let's delete it and set global time dilatation to 0.1, because that means it will slow down time for a bit. Let's put here a delay, and let's put here about 1 second. It will be actually much longer because the whole time is slowed down, so even this delay will be slow. And let's then put a global time dilatation again to 1, and everything will work again. Okay, and then we can destroy the actor. Okay, that should be fine, and let's test it out. Okay, so different fruits are jumping at me. You can see that everything works, but I need to just catch some banana. Okay, that's proper, and it worked. I actually hit it. Look at that, how slow time actually is. The problem is that I teleported, so the whole teleportation is slowed down as well. Okay, look at that. It seems like the delay is way too long, so we'll have to set up much shorter delay. Okay, so first of all, let's set the delay to something much slower. Let's say 0.3 should be fine. And we don't want the time to be that slow. Let's set it to 0.5. And in that case, let's do this to 0.4. And we will see how this will work. I think it's shooting still shooting too often that special banana. So let's open it. Open our launcher 2 and set it at start to 10 to 20, and this to, okay, that's too much, 5 to 10. You can play with it however you want, of course, and I still think that the time when it was slowed down was too long, so let's go into fruit special and set it to 0. Oh, that's too much, 25. Okay. So now that everything should work just fine. By the way, if you don't want to have 3 launchers, you want just 1 launcher, what you can actually do is to delete all these meshes. Let's say that I don't want this or this, and just put that one arrow, because arrow won't be shown in game, into one mesh, one of those launchers, and it will look like it's everything shooting from one place. That's all up to you. I actually like it like this. Okay. And last thing we will do is to let the game start, because right now you just start somewhere and it will shoot everything, blah 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 blah. That's what we don't want. We want it to start after, like in regular Fruit Ninja, we'll cut some rotating fruit. So let's create new blueprint, and you know what, we'll actually copy fruit 01. No, let's not rename it, let's copy it, duplicate, and call it fruit _ starter. Open it, and by default let's set it to, oh, I don't know what will be fun to cut. Let's leave it on that orange. Why is that granite? I said orange. Oh, I see, that is construction script, of course. So delete that, we don't need this part. Again, copy, the only thing connected will be copy procedural mesh from static mesh, move it here. Event graph, blah blah blah, everything's, oh, we actually need to disable this one, look at that. Because otherwise it would delete itself after 3 seconds, we don't want that. But we will leave this here, just delete this score part. Okay, everything else seems fine. And this time around, let's actually scale that collision down. Okay, that's fine. And right from the start you have simulate physics, which is something we don't want, because otherwise it would just fall down, which we don't want. So let's disable it. Click on event graph and start here. So first thing will be to enable that physics. Take here procedural mesh and now set that physics to enable. Set enable. You know what, that's actually a good idea. We will use it a little bit differently than I thought, but that's not a problem, it's normal. Simulate physics, let's set to enable and disable gravity. And after we will cut it with katana, it will enable gravity. Okay, compile. And the next thing will be to go to these shooters, to these launchers. And right now it will start after begin play, which we don't want. We want to create here a new custom event. Add custom event, let's call it start game. Okay, and connect it right here. And let's deselect it from this event begin play. And sadly enough, we will have to do it with launcher 2 as well. So first thing, let's after that set enable gravity, get actor of location of class, set it to launcher. And from here we will get start game. And then we will have to do it again. If you are not using this second launcher, you don't need, of course, you don't need to, of course. Again, right click, create custom event, call it start game and special, just to be sure. Connect it here, delete this one. And again, let's just copy this one, get here launcher 2, and take it to start game special. Okay, that should be fine. And let's put it in game. Let's say that we want player to start here, and this will be in front of him. Yep, sounds about fine. Sounds about right, not only fine. And the other thing is to take this player start, spawn, and put it behind it. Okay, look at that. About here should be right. Yep, that should be good place. Put this here. And another thing will be to have these katanas ready. So let's put here just mesh as sort of a table, and on top of them we will put these katanas. Is that how you say it in English? with a plural? I suppose so. Okay, that seems fine. And last thing, we want it to rotate. That should be super easy. Let's go to event graph, to event begin play. Add here move component to. Component will be procedural mesh. Get its location. Get world location. Oh, actually, we need to use relative location. Get relative rotation and get relative location. Location connects to what it is, and relative rotation just split and split it here. X to X, Y to Y, and Z set to plus, I don't know, 800. What am I doing? Jeez. Float plus float, float set to 180 and connect it to Z. And over time, let's say 2 seconds. Okay, play it, and it seems like it does what you would expect it to do, even though it was way too fast. So let's put here micro delay. 0.01 and connect it right here. And it's rotating all the time. Look at that. Everything is fine. Let's build lighting and test everything out. Okay, now in the game. Let's not really teleport that much, because now it's not really necessary. On the sides are slower, so let's take them. Okay, fine, and start by cutting this thing. Okay, seems fine, but I'm afraid I will have to go closer. Alright, that's everything for this tutorial. I hope that it was helpful for you, that you actually learned something. If you did, let me know in comments. And I have also a Discord channel, so if you have made something interesting, made some alternation to it and make it even more interesting, even though I doubt that, not important, join the Discord and show us what you did. See you. Sir Fancy out.